Hey, I wonder if this might help you today. So as I was sitting here with God, just pondering and thanking him for how perfect his timing is, my pastor said it the other day, God's timing is timely. And, just like seeing how when he calls me to something and I maybe feel like, well, God, how am I supposed to do this right now? Or, whatever. As I make steps in that direction, like my obedience meets his timing, and then it just aligns perfectly in his way and in his will. And so I want to encourage you, to have grace with yourself as it concerns you walking into something that God has called you to do. Sometimes it's not immediate, right? Sometimes God is telling you the thing so that you can prepare, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? And so he says, I want you to do this, right? He says it in advance, right? Because he wants you to walk into the thing. God is not a rush. He is not in a rush. And so he doesn't rush things. He loves to do things perfectly. And so while it might not seem like we do it perfectly, right? It's still perfect according to his plan and his will. But I'm saying he tells you in advance so that you can start changing, shifting your heart posture, shifting your mind, start edifying yourself in the word, start encouraging yourself, start building yourself up in any way that you need to before you actually get to the place that he's taking you, right? And so, take it one step at a time, but be obedient with what you have right now, right? And trust God for what you need next. Sometimes, remember when you're baking a cake, right? God is giving you all the tools to bake the cake. He's giving you all the tools to bake the cake, but the cake still has chemistry in order to come together correctly, right? You mix all the wet stuff and you mix all the dry stuff, and then you mix them together, and then you put it in the oven for however long that it says, right? It has these steps. You don't do everything all at once, right? The cake is not literally poof and it's done, because once you put it all together and you knock out all the air bubbles and you put it in the oven, it still takes time to rise. It still takes time to come to completion. And then when it's done, you gotta let it cool, then you gotta ice it, and then you can cut it, and then you can enjoy it. You see that whole process? It takes time. So give yourself grace with where you are right now, but don't sit on the sidelines waiting for it to all just happen, come together.